good afternoon, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Monday, January 25th, and I am in the car headed to my fertility clinic. Today I am having a Sono Hsg test done as well as an endometrial biopsy. I don't really know what to expect with either of these, so I'm pretty nervous. I have a pain tolerance of -100, so anything that is going to hurt even just a little bit, it terrifies me. So my heart rate is definitely a bit high right now. During my last cycle of IVF, sorry, my lip gloss, I had to have an HSG done, but it included dye that they injected into my uterus to get a better view of it. So if I have to compare this to that, that was extremely painful to me. The test is done to make sure that your tubes are open and everything like that. But it was extremely painful. Like, I was literally screaming on that bed. So if it's anything like that, I'm not prepared for it. But yeah, that's what's happening right now. I'm gonna go and do that and probably hop back on afterwards to talk to you guys, just because I don't know what it's gonna be like during. I may also be meeting with the financial person today to discuss payments. While my insurance does cover IVF, because it's the beginning of the year and I have not met deductibles yet, I am going to have some out-of-pocket expenses. So we're probably going to talk through that today. But I just wanted to kind of keep you guys posted as to what's going on, so stay tuned. Hey guys, so as you can see, I am home. I've kind of switched to PJs and have started to get some work done for the day. But I'm back from my appointment. Um, a little bit of what happened. They took a urine sample when I first got there for whatever testing they needed to do on it. They had me go into the room and get undressed from the waist down. Excuse me. And then the nurse practitioner and the ultrasound tech came in and they kind of explained what was going to happen. She let me know that they were going to do the Sono Hsg, or the saline test, first. And if my um, lining was clear of anything that looked abnormal, then they would go ahead and do the endometrial biopsy. I let her know up front that I was nervous because the last HSG that I had was very painful. She kind of reassured me by letting me know, like, the HSG that I had done, it was with dye, and they had to kind of shoot it up through my uterus, and it was supposed to like spill out of my tubes to show that they were open. While this test is a little bit different, where they were just injecting some saline um, just to kind of widen the lining of my uterus to see what was in there. So it was a little painful, but not as bad as I expected. Um, it starts kind of like a normal pap smear where they go in with the speculum. I do have a tilted uterus, so it made it a little bit difficult for her to get that into place. She had to readjust it a few times. After getting that into place, she let me know that she was then going to have to go in with a catheter to kind of get it into place somewhere near or in the cervix. So that was a little uncomfortable. Once that was in place, she then removed the speculum, and then the ultrasound tech went in with the ultrasound probe. If you've never had a transvaginal ultrasound, um, they take a long probe and insert it in the vagina, all while the catheter was still in me. So they took the speculum out, they left the catheter in, went in with the ultrasound probe, and then she started to inject the saline inside of me. And they did all of that just so that they could get clear pictures of exactly what was going on inside. So once they did that, they took everything out, and she was pretty much like, okay, we're going to be done for the day. And I'm like, well, we're done. You didn't do the biopsy, so that means, something's going on. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to show you on the ultrasound screen. I'm like, just tell me it's not fibroids, because as you know, I already have fibroids, and we just wanted to make sure that there were none anywhere near that part of my uterus, because that would make for me to not be able to get pregnant. And she was like, no, it's definitely not fibroids. It looks like it's at least one polyp, but maybe two. So when she showed it to me on the ultrasound screen, one side of the lining was just a smooth, flat surface, but on the other side there was like a little bump, and even at the bottom you could see like some little gray specks. So all of that she believed to be polyps, which are supposed to be like non-cancerous. The doctor had kind of already suspected that that would be the case when she did my first ultrasound. Um, so what they'll do now is once I start all of my stems, my medication, and then it's time for me to go in for my egg retrieval, they'll do a hysteroscopy at the same time, um, to go in and actually remove the polyps. I don't know if at that time they're going to go ahead and do the endometrial biopsy while I'm already asleep. I didn't ask that. Um, but yeah, they'll do all of that at the time of retrieval, to get rid of those things so that it'll clear up my lining and make it suitable for transfer, which I'm very proud about. Um, Working with this doctor's office, because my last office, they did a few tests, but they weren't as thorough as this location is. So I'm very pleased with what they're doing so far, even though some of the tests are a little overwhelming and not comfortable. I'm glad that they are taking all the steps necessary, um, to try to make it as successful as possible. So that's what happened. Um, I did not get a chance to meet with a financial counselor. I was really crampy after I left. Like, it kind of felt like the first day of a menstrual cycle cramps on top of somebody like punching me in the stomach like 50 times. So I went ahead and left. I have all of my financial paperwork. I'm going to review it and probably just give her a call. But because it is the beginning of the year and I have not met like my insurance deductibles or anything like that, my out of pocket right now just for my procedures is about $8,000. That's including the IVF cycle. That's including the way that they fertilize the eggs, which is called ICSI. That's including like all of the lab work, the anesthesia, all of those things, um, as well as the testing of the embryos. The only thing that's not included in that is my medication, which I have to pay separate to the pharmacy, that I'm waiting for a cost on now. Actually waiting for a phone call. And then there's a fee that we have to pay to the lab directly to cover testing the embryos, which can be up to $1,600 depending on how many embryos you have. So I'm just roughly estimating that we're going to pay about $12,000 out of pocket for this cycle, um, which, it is a lot, but we're praying and believing that it's going to be successful this first go round. And if, God forbid it fails, at least we know at that point we've met all of our insurance deductibles and everything like that. So the program that my company partners with to cover IVF, which is Wind Fertility, those benefits will start to kick in 100%, and I shouldn't have any more out of pocket cost after that. But yeah, that is how that appointment went. I'm going to keep you guys posted over the next couple of days, with the next few appointments and things that are coming up. So, just stay tuned. We're going to get into some more details now. All right, guys. So following up to what's been going on, please excuse my forehead. I'm trying to get a little breakout, so I'm just trying to treat it really quickly. So today is Wednesday, January 27th. A little bit about what's happened between like yesterday and today. I was getting the runaround a lot from my insurance company, just trying to understand like my pharmacy benefits, my deductibles, out of pocket expenses, like where all my money was going. At one point, the pharmacy was quoting me like $26,000 for one medication, and I had 9 prescriptions to fill. So I immediately went into a panic, like this is just not going to happen. Like this can't be right. The financial counselor at the clinic, it was very hard to get a hold of her. I tried communicating with her through email. The emails were like very short. Like I felt like I wasn't really getting the answers that I needed. But today I did a little research on my own, dug deeper into my benefits, realized that my pharmacy benefits were offered not through Anthem, but through CVS Caremark. So I called them and got all the details, and then was able to call the CVS specialty pharmacy back to get everything going for my prescriptions. So overall, I ended up paying $3,015 out of pocket for my medication. I am going to be on the Menopur injection, I had to order 22 vials of that, and they're like 75 units each. I'm going to be using Gonal F, which comes in like the pen, which is 900 units each. And I think I had to get like 5 or 6 pens. And then I'm going to be using, instead of Ganirelix, I think it's going to be Cetratide, um, which is another injection. I can't remember how many units or vials I had to order for that. But those were the three main ones. They also had me order doxycycline, which is like the antibiotic. Um, they have me taking metformin, which ended up having to be sent to a local pharmacy because CVS couldn't fulfill that. But I have no copay on that. Then there's one called like dexamethasone or something like that. Um, and then there were a couple other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head. But for all of that, and then like all of the needles that come with them, a sharps dispenser, alcohol wipes, all of that, it came to $3,015. Um, which I was expecting to pay about that amount, having not met deductibles and everything. So I was satisfied with that. They did let me know that paying that out of pocket now 100% meets my deductible and out of pocket maximum. The Menopur, I actually did not pay for that yet. They were actually out of stock. I guess the warehouse or something is out. So I have to follow up with my doctor's office to try to find somewhere that actually has it in stock that we can transfer the prescription to. But it will be covered 100% because, like I said, what I paid today meets my out of pocket. So there won't be any additional out of pocket for that. So they have filled all of those except the Menopur. I have to go to the local Walgreens to pick up the metformin. All of those meds will be delivered on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And I start the injections on the 5th, which I believe is that Friday. So on Tuesday or Wednesday, I go in to the doctor's office for what's considered my baseline appointment. At that time, I believe that they may take lab work again, and they're going to do an ultrasound, at which time they'll be looking at, have I developed any follicles, how many are there, what size are they measuring, things like that before I start my medication. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the last video, but they did start me on a birth control pill the second day of my cycle. When you're going through IVF, they want to kind of be able to control everything and when things happen, when you ovulate, things like that, so they can plan the egg retrieval around that. So I have been taking that since Saturday, and I think I'll be on it probably through next week up until I start my stems. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm on that right now to kind of regulate my cycle and control like the ovulation and everything. So yeah, those are the main things that are going on in this stage. Um, Anyone that's looking to go through an IVF journey or is on it, just make sure you do your research. Be sure to find like a clinic that has great results, great reviews. This clinic was recommended to me by someone that worked with me. She was able to get pregnant with twins by Dr. Robin after having a lot of failed attempts elsewhere and on her own. While I do feel like my previous doctor was a good doctor and her practice has good reviews, I just felt like I needed to try something else, to look for other solutions that may not have been being tried. And as I said before, this doctor has been doing a lot more like testing and things like that than the previous doctor has. So I'm, really hopeful that this is going to be a good fit. What else? Definitely do your research when it comes to your insurance and your benefits. You never know if you do or don't really have coverage for some things. Like I said, my company partners with the program called Win Fertility to kind of cover those IVF benefits. I know that I've seen like in some of the Facebook support groups that I'm in that people are like petitioning to their HR departments and their insurance companies to kind of get some type of coverage, because it is an important thing. Like a lot of people are doing IVF because they have to. They don't have any other means to get pregnant. I personally feel like it is something that is medically necessary. Like, even though I have unexplained infertility, being married for 12 years and not even having a pregnancy scare ever is an issue. Like, this is something that medically needs to be taken care of. And the fact that we can't get coverage for it so easily is definitely terrible. So yeah, definitely do your research. Look around and try to find the best programs and things like that that can help you. There's so much out there. There are so many Facebook groups and Instagram groups that I'm in that kind of give you tips and tricks on those type of things. So if you want any insight on any of those, let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's really it. I'm gonna try to get video at my baseline appointment of exactly what's going on. Hopefully I can get video of the ultrasound and things like that so you guys can kind of see what happens in a baseline appointment. But yeah, that's it. I'm actually in the process of wrapping up dinner. If you have followed my journey, you know that, I've recently lost weight and I'm trying to live a much healthier lifestyle and eat the right things. So I baked a pizza per se, but it's like a keto pizza where the crust is made out of like cream cheese, Parmesan cheese, and eggs. And it's topped with like pepperoni, mozzarella cheese, and Italian seasoning. So, I probably will drop that in so you guys can see it, but I'll do another video next week of like what I'm eating for the week. As far as like I do a detox water every morning, and then I try to eat just one, maybe two smaller meals throughout the day. So I'll try to get that in to you guys next week. But definitely don't forget to like this video, leave some comments, let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions about anything or what else you guys may want to see. And I will see you soon. Be safe. Let's make keto pizza. You're going to need pepperoni, Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese, pizza sauce, eggs, and cream cheese. You're going to mix the cream cheese with the eggs, garlic powder, and pepper. Pour that into a baking pan. This is the crust. Once it bakes for 15 minutes, pour on some pizza sauce. Add your pepperonis and mozzarella cheese. Bake for 10 minutes. Add some Italian seasoning to the top.